Oh, hello, what's popping, guys? The Kenyan car dealer KHALIF Kairo has gotten into some rubbing shoulder with the officers today too. He has been arrested for not delivering a BMW X1 to a client worth, I think, 3.1 million. I'm not sure about the figure. So see how it unfolded.
Enda mbele, enda mbele. Tujiende tu.
Si anajua kesi.
Hiyo tunashughulikia.
Hii ni different case madam. These are different case. Hii ni ya Chigwani. Yeye mwenyewe anajua. Sasa sisi tunajua. These are different cases.
From the look of things, Cairo is in a very big trouble. But it doesn't come with no troll. Some people have come out with allegations of him being having a lot of pride and all that. But away from that, anyway, let us pray for Cairo and I hope everything will be well.
Lakini kwangu nda wanasema nimeshazoea kuchafuliwa jina ni mazidi. Lakini kwangu nda wanasema nimeshazoea kuchafuliwa jina ni mazidi.
Hey guys, so today I was checking out the refund me for Cairo and reading through it. I put a post on it, but it got me thinking about him. And what I found while I was thinking was the phrases that he uses that gave me a clear indication of where he's getting his advice from. When people use like their enemies, God, trials, all these type of words, then you're definitely sure he's getting his advice from his mother. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to hear me out. When a man is in trouble, that's the worst point to get advice from. And I don't mean it in a bad way. Mothers really love their sons. But the problem, they love their sons too much to fight the battle one-sided. There will be no logical thinking of what happened, who caused the problem, what situation did you go through. That is all put in the dustbin. And the first instinct is to tell you, come, let me keep you safe. They want to protect you. They want to hold you close to them. And it's very natural for a woman to think like that. But in most situations, that's very bad for those situations. So if you look at his situation, he doesn't look at accountability the way a man should look at accountability. He looks at, he's not logical about his situations and saying, hapo nimeblanda, let me work on this and this and that. I understand this person, I'll give this, I'll auction my car, the plane in Wilson Airport and all these other things, and then I get my reputation back. Him is compounding problems over problems because the person who's talking to him is telling him, you're just being tested, you have haters, you are this, and so nothing wrong with him. And the same also when you're a young man. Also for me, it has happened to me. I've been in situations, maybe I'm unable to pay the rent. And I go to my mom and I'm like, hey, mom, I'm having issues with the rent. Thinking my mom will bail me out. She'll be like, hey, listen, see, we have a spare room. Why don't you just move in? And then you can just stay with me. Why do you have even to have another house? Why do you even have to make this and that? And I remember even once when I decided to move from South Africa to Kenya, and I was working for a company. I had my things were going well. I'd saved enough money, put some money in the portfolios and all these other things. So I was in a good place. And I said, I want to go back to Kenya and do 1, 2, 3 things. And I went to my mom and I had thought about it. So my thought was conclusive. I'd already made up my mind I'm going to move. So I went to her and I told her I am moving to Kenya. So I had to I was staying in Cape Town. She was in Joburg. So I had to go to Joburg and tell her that. she told me, how would you do that? Why would you think of that? Kenya is backwards. Like, how would you go even back to Kenya? You will fail. You will do this. And she told me all these things till the fear itself started coming in me. But eventually, I moved. So I moved to Kenya. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And I stayed there for almost 8 years. And I was quite happy. Everything worked according to plan. And she later on came and said, oh, wow, this was quite successful. So a mother always gives you fear-based advice and tells you, the world out there is dangerous. Come here, I will protect you. And the reason I also make the conclusion and put it together with him is because I know even the company that he has suggested is funding the $30,000 is his mother. I might be wrong, but I suspect someone has put the money for it to look like it's legitimate, because but the issue with WeFund will not allow you to remove the money. This is just a promissory note. When it gets to a certain level, this and this happens. But it follows regulations. I've invested with them in different things. I understand how they operate, and it's very controlled. It's one of the hardest sites to create a funding system. If it's not legitimate, they will eventually catch up with you. But besides that, the advice from a mother is great if it's emotional advice. If it's logical, 1, 2, 3 things, umekosea, or you want to invest your money, or you want to buy a car, those are things that you have to really go and seek the professional people in that area and say, I want to buy a car. What is the best car for me because I'm doing this and this and that? But if you tell your mother, she'll say, Nissan hata ikuangi mzuri. Wewe nunua Toyota. Mama Jane aliniambia, Toyota. Hiyo ndio gari. So all the time you'll be given this advice that's emotionally based, and eventually it will put you into more trouble. There's a plane passing. So that's what I think. So, and if you accept the advice, for example, if I had accepted to move to the spare room and stay with her, she will dominate the shit out of me. That I will not progress for the next 4, 5 years. I will not do anything. She will monitor, saa unakaa kwangu, na unakuja usiku saa ngapi? Unakaa kwangu, na ununuangi mkate. It will become psychological abuse. So you have to think of where you're getting your advice from. And especially in certain situations as a man, the mother is not the best option. Sorry to say it, but it's the truth.